1, go!
Oh, that's not Smash Brothers voice, is it?
Ooh, if it was Mario Party, then you'd have Toad going.
Nice.
Start! Finish! New record!
Oh,
Wow!
oh!
Way to go, Peter.
It's a
Way
cat's
to
ball.
go.
I blame that cat.
Way to go, Peter. Way to go, Peter. Wow. Oh, man. So much going on Facebook today. Okay, so I'm going to assume that we're live.
Yes, we're live.
That we're up and running.
Wow.
Wow. So, hey, Jay, everybody who's just coming in and signing in and starting the day with us. So early in the morning for some people, but only the people in like Hawaii, because everywhere else,
And people like us who
Probably
go to
in the middle
sleep
of
at
the
6
night.
in the morning.
there or people like us are doing that. I was gonna say it's noon now here in California. It's bright and sunny outside. I've been standing outside for probably half an hour or 40 minutes today already.
Why were you doing that?
I was on the phone with my parents and my family.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're traveling, and so they were on the cell phone and wanted to talk. So that's what I've been doing today. You can tell how badly I haven't shaved in like forever. It's terrible. So, oh man,
Oh, wow, you had that much facial hair for that one video that we can't talk about?
pretty much. They wanted me to.
Oh, they did?
They specifically said don't
Nice.
shave. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is probably more information I was supposed to give, but since it's so out of context,
Yep.
I'm allowed to say that I haven't shaved in like 4 days, and I did something important yesterday, completely unshaven.
Nice.
So yeah. Hey Jay.
For their request. I'm
Hi
here.
everybody. That's Peter.
This is Peter.
That's Peter. He's totally with it.
Toad.
Toad.
Oh, crap.
He's Toad.
I should change something about this.
Probably.
Toad!
It wasn't doing that before.
Yeah! Okay!
I'll sit here and annoy them.
Yay!
Stop.
Oh,
It's clipping everywhere.
but it's my
I don't
favorite.
know how that happened, though, because it was clipping before when you were screaming.
True.
Can you Toad again?
Yay!
Okay.
Toad!
Really? What the heck?
Did you guys all go vote for Toad for Smash Brothers? I hope so. I
Alright.
hope everybody wrote in Toad for their vote for Smash Brothers. Speaking of which, I have to double check because I thought it was still up a day
Do it
later.
one more time.
That was crazy.
Toad!
Okay, there we go. That doesn't make any sense because it wasn't doing that before. Oh, right. You weren't sitting up before.
Oh, that made a difference.
You were far away from the microphone.
I have not submitted a vote for Smash Bros. Fighter ballot
What?
because I was so convinced that it was phony,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't.
You didn't want
And-
to get taken in.
The fact that nobody said it's phony makes me think it's totally legit.
Yeah.
Which is scary because now that's the new reason I'm not voting is because I'm like, I don't know who to put down on it. I'm like, can I write like 7 like different? Probably you can just keep resubmitting.
I mean, you only have two
Yeah.
choices: Snake or K. Rool.
Well, the next thing is they're not obliged to do anything with any of
Oh, of
these
course not.
votes. It does not say we'll add the top voted one or anything. So it could be that they just do a search for the one they want to add and go, oh, good, somebody wanted that one. We're gonna add that.
Nice.
Who really knows? But yeah, I was thinking about it this morning. I was thinking we need to get a window open. That's what I was thinking.
It's gonna say, "Ow, ow, my ears."
I was thinking that I want King K. Rool in the video still, in the game. I want King K. Rool in the next Smash Brothers. Or rather, I want him as DLC for the current Smash Brothers. And I've been saying I want King K. Rool in, like, literally since, I think, Melee.
Yeah.
I've been going, where's King K. Rool? Why isn't he in this? So I was thinking about the fact that we got King Dedede from Kirby. And I was like, yeah, we got one of the 2 kings that we need for this game, but where's King K. Rool? And then they still aren't putting him in. And I'm like, why?
Why?
He's supposed to be there. So anyway, I think that's who I'm gonna vote for Smash Brothers. I think I'm gonna vote for King K. Rool.
I already voted for King K. Rool.
Did you?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, I'll do, I'll do stupid
Well,
slap.
I was
That's
lazy,
okay.
man.
I can't turn my hand around. I use his wrist muscles. That's way too much work. So yeah, and before we kick off questions and answers from you guys, I want to ask you guys a question. Who did you vote for on the SmashBros.com fighter poll that they put up? Because I'm curious to see who, not just everybody in the world were voting for, but especially the people on our channel who they thought was important to put in the game.
And the second, the other part of that question is, did the Smash Brotherhood affect who you voted for.
Okay, that's fair. Because I made a tweet later to be like, hey, you guys, you have to vote for Solid Snake, or else. Or else.
Or else our April Fool's
Or else
joke
the
will be
April Fool's
true.
video ends up canon.
Hi, Big Kitty.
So, Big Kitty, hi.
Don't hit that microphone.
Okay. So anyway,
Come up
again,
here.
I'm AJ. That's Peter.
No.
Big Kitty's off camera.
Hi, Big Kitty.
Big the cat. Big the cat. Ooh, Froggy. So,
Oh, and there's
today,
Little Kitty. Hi, Little Kitty.
little kitty.
Sorry. Go
Mr.
on.
Cat, Mr. Gotham Cat. So today we're going to be talking a bit about Smash Brotherhood kind of stuff and Smash Bros with you guys, depending on how much you want to talk about either. But we're also taking questions on all sorts of other things. And so any questions you have, feel free to put them in the comments or the chat, whatever it looks like to you. Right now to me on YouTube, it looks like a chat. So that's
Well,
cool.
that's good.
It does. No, it says say something. It doesn't say comment or something. So yeah, I do have from our Facebook page, we had an event set up for this, and there are a couple questions from there that we'll address first, I think, where you guys collect your thoughts and write which characters you voted for. Hi, Kat. You're just going to totally hit all the buttons on that and turn all the audio off.
Oh, well, okay. She only hit solo. That's good, theoretically.
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I forgot.
She's been going up there a lot. Probably someday we need to find a different way to set that up so that they have another of those things over it to stand on. Because those cats, man, she's going to come right back across and walk over again.
She always presses buttons on my mixer and that.
She's like, this
Those
is mine.
things.
I will stand on it.
Ah,
All right. So the first question was from Kat with a K,
hi,
who I met
Cat.
on Minecraft the other night. I'm assuming that was the same
Yes.
cat. How many cats do we have on this channel? At least 2. They're cats with C's, though. Kat had asked, what ideas do y'all have on how you're going to introduce the other characters for Smash Brothers, or Smash Brotherhood, really? Because there are a lot of characters, obviously, we've never done anything with. And for those of you who are kind of new to the channel, we've got this weird ongoing Smash Brotherhood idea that's gotten, it's gotten one actual episode, but otherwise you just see sneak peeks of it put into the end of musicals and things like that. So there is a common thread going on, but the characters that we've included so far have been
Oh, crap. We're going to have to remember them all.
Peach, Donkey Kong,
Okay. King K. Rool, sort of.
we gave our 2 cents on whether King K. Rool should be part of that.
Pikmin.
Pikmin are slyly mentioned
Yes.
as part of that. Wario, pretty explicitly.
Very.
His is the only one I think is part of the song, actually. Where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I'm Snake. I'm going to
His
sing
is
the
the
rap
best.
section.
His is so good.
Who else? Yoshi, obviously. That came up kind of blatantly.
Yeah, yeah.
Who else? Oh, the Pokemon. Pikachu,
Right.
Jigglypuff. Clefairy wants to be part of it. Hasn't really gotten a chance. There's got to be more, though.
Wireframes.
Who are we missing? We saw Wire. They're not part of the Smash Brothers. But
we've seen a hand.
you know you've been looking at good videos when you have tons of like J-pop stuff come up. It's like all J-pop and 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Brilliant.
I'm like, I can live with this. I'm okay with that. Yeah. What other characters have we?
Fento. Even though he doesn't. He's
I was
not.
gonna say he's not.
Yeah. Captain Falcon.
I would say Zelda and
Oh,
Ganondorf and
And
Link
Link,
have
yeah.
all been invited.
yes.
Who actually knows what happens?
I mean, I think we made it kind of explicitly canon once we did.
yeah.
Like the previously on in our Smash Brothers is pretty clearly like official, and they did appear in that.
Well, that was also previously on an April Fool's joke.
That's true.
I don't think there was anything canon.
Okay,
about
that's
that.
fair. That's fair.
But I do think the fact that they all set out across the land and then were willing to fight each other
Yeah.
to be the
I
Hyrule Warrior,
think that they'll all be
is
accepted.
they want to be the Hyrule Warrior because it's part of the Smash Brotherhood.
Which is interesting because Ganondorf might be part of the Hyrule or the
Smash
Brotherhood. Especially weird if, like, King K. Rool, for instance, gets in a game and suddenly isn't in the Brotherhood because
Don't go step on
I
all
don't know.
those buttons, Cat. Don't step on them all.
It's an interesting question. No,
Don't step-
I will step on them all.
Don't step on them all, please.
I will step on them all. Meow.
Our cat has thumbs. He's really good at holding things and touching stuff.
He stole a French fry with his hands.
He literally picked it up and carried it away like that. I was like, oh dear. Our cat can literally pick things up with his hands. And not like this, like one hand, like,
Yeah.
and then take it and leave. And I was like, what are you doing? It was a huge French fry too. It was like that long. And he's just like, wah.
He
and
kept on
it's-
stealing my spinach too.
Oh, man.
It was a problem.
Anybody else? Captain Falcon.
I said that like five
Oh, did you?
times right at your face.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, also did we never addressed who Snake was calling at the end of that video either.
The
I'm gonna go out there and say that was
We Fit Trainer.
We Fit Trainer, but we don't know for sure that she's actually part of it or if that was Snake calling for something else. Who really knows? Anybody else that we missed so far?
They'll correct us if
I was gonna say, maybe you guys are gonna beat us to that.
probably.
So obviously there's a ton of characters that we haven't actually included,
Addressed,
including
yeah.
characters that we have in videos like Sonic,
like Sonic, right?
for example. I'm looking at Sonic Boom right here. I'm like,
Yeah.
people have asked a number of times, what about Sonic? You got Snake, you don't have Sonic.
Mhm. I
How
mean,
are we gonna introduce characters?
most of the time, if we do a musical about them, we'll introduce them. Some characters, even if we have a musical about them, we have really specific ideas for what, like, when and how they're going to appear. So for those particular characters, we're waiting until the episodes happen. And that's
Yeah.
really our heuristic for deciding how they appear.
Now, as you can see with like Wario when he gets recruited versus Peach, how she's getting recruited in the musical numbers, we're not really interested in always making it blanketly one thing or another.
Mhm.
So sometimes if we have a clever way of doing it, kind of like, again, Hyrule Warriors is another good example.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do Snake shows up at the end, it's like, hey, you guys, join the Smash Brothers. But we also didn't want to do like the Wario rap where Snake's like, hey, you guys, join the Smash Brothers. So sometimes we're going to look for other sneakier ways to do it. Another good example is, again, Pikmin, where it's a really offhanded thing you just kind of have to listen for that comes up,
Mhm.
and that's kind of the recruitment. So some of them will get really deliberate, explicit ones, and some of them will get really kind of secret-y ones that you'll have to kind of read between the lines for. And there will be characters that we're not going to, I think, incorporate in the end.
Yeah.
Not every character.
There are way too many characters in Smash Brotherhood
Yeah.
for a tiny channel like us to be able to reproduce.
As an example, I'm willing to say that Dr. Mario as a character will not get a Smash Brotherhood thing, I think. Now, the nuance to that is it might be that Mario is a doctor, and while he's being a doctor, happens to get a Smash Brothers thing.
That makes
But
sense.
you're not going to get like, oh, I'm a Dr. Mario, I'm a regular Mario, we're both in the Smash Brothers. It's like, you wouldn't get that. You
Yeah.
would get Mario can be both characters. Fire Emblem's another good example. I don't know how many of the characters are going to be in the thing. Ike, obviously. Obviously, Ike is going to be in it.
Oh, Ike.
So yeah, it's we apologize in advance if somehow we skip your favorite character somehow. We're going to try to get all the ones that generally have a sizable fan base to them.
I have the comments here.
Oh, you're looking at them on there too, huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, now I got to
Because
backtrack.
we haven't touched anything. I'm just gonna start
Yeah.
from the top and start
Okay,
looking through.
that seems
Let's
good.
see here. What are y'all's top 2 favorite colors? This is also by Kat. My top 2, if we have to choose 2 of them, are black and red. AJ.
My favorites are definitely green and another shade of green. I like green a lot.
Wow.
And not exactly like this is a foresty kind of green. I like more of a Yoshi green. I like that bright green kind of thing, like a neon-y green, a little bit of yellow green to it. Green. I love green. Is there another color like? I guess red because it looks good with green. Green and red. Those are my colors. Plus the Yoshis have that too. So although I'm looking at my Amiibo Crester, I'm like, he doesn't look as red. He's got almost more of an orange thing going on with his green. So I wonder if they changed his color schemes.
There's a really big question about Sparrow's relationship to us.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And
So
there's like debate about
as always, I think
everything.
clarification is reasonable. That
Yeah.
Sparrow considers herself not part of RE. We basically consider her part of RE.
she's been living with us for
2 years.
2 years now.
She handles a lot of costuming stuff, including the thing I can't talk about yesterday.
Yeah. Most of the time during that time, she was not dating either of us, but Sparrow and I are now a couple.
There you go.
And that's
And I'm still available. Keep that in mind.
I've been waiting until you swing towards me.
Peter,
aren't
I've
you?
been waiting for you to say yes to me. It's
Perfect.
just not happening.
Perfect.
I'm keeping my heart chased for Markiplier,
Oh,
actually.
it's like they can call us PJ.
page it.
when they ship us.
Didn't we have a Peter Plier already or something?
Yeah.
Peter Plier. That just
But no,
goes
that
fun to say.
wasn't shipping though. That
Peter
was
Plier
just
for
me
Quick
pretending to be Markiplier.
Oh, that's
Hey
right.
guys,
I'm
it wasn't even a
Markiplier.
ship.
I'm Peter Plier. Bye-bye.
And then there was like what's his face, Nicolas Cage,
Oh, yeah, Nicolas Cage Plier.
something like that. Yeah.
I'll
Anyway,
see you in the next musical. I don't know why he does musicals. That was AJ Nicolas
Wow.
Cage Plier. Nicolas Cage Plier.
outstanding.
That's one for fan art. Nicolas Cage Plier. We need that.
Oh, they want me to hug you.
Okay.
Oh, really?
You may hug me. Cats! We've got like the Avengers battle going on in our window blinds. Cats, can you please?
Not destroy the blinds
Can
anymore.
you please not do that?
No, thank you.
Those are supposed to be nice and not rogue. They're supposed to be functional.
Oh, right, Agatha. That too.
Agatha in the Smash Brother.
Brilliant.
She wanted to be part of it. I don't think she's gonna be in it. To be honest.
I mean, the hand attacked her.
yeah, but the hand is just bad.
True.
The hand is a mean hand. That's all there is to it.
How can I get one of those Random Encounters shirts?
Sweet question.
randomencounters.spreadshirt.com.
Yes. I
Spread
believe it.
shirt, that was.
Random-
It's also on our channel's homepage. So
Yeah,
you
there's a
can go
little
there.
shirt icon.
click
It
on the
looks like a
shirt.
little blue-green kind of
Yeah.
shirt. I've got it up on my screen.
This
right now.
shirt is not Random Encounters, though. Actually, this shirt is IGN because Maker hasn't yet given us shirts, even though we've been there for 3 years.
That's right. So nice of IGN to fund our
I know,
future
right?
endeavors, right?
So, yeah. Wait, this is IGN, right?
Or VidCon. I think it's IGN.
I think it's IGN.
Yeah, I think IGN gave
I
it. But
forget.
it's funny, it doesn't have any markings on it.
I think it's on the back,
On
but
the back,
if I
it
showed
says
you the
IGN.
back, you'd probably get my butt cracked too.
Okay.
So.
Then we'll trust you. It says IGN on the back of the list. Yeah, we have nice IGN hoodies too. Still, so it's funny. I walk around and they're like, "Oh, you work for IGN?" I'm like, no.
Sparrow,
But I have this.
Sparrow ripped my left pocket on it. I was sad.
no. Yeah. So anyway, if you want to get a T-shirt that looks kind of like this, or one that has the beard on it as Mississippi beard, because I love that design. I don't have one
Mississippi
myself
beard.
yet. Yeah, and now it's got little references all over. I like that one for people that have been like watching your channel for a while, because it's got the beard on it, but it's
Yeah.
got a few other things that people might recognize. Anyway, we have a number of shirts that you can go get at randomencounters.spreadshirt.com.
They're yelling at me because I haven't hugged you yet.
Oh, thanks, Peter.
There.
Such a nice fellow.
They told me to.
I got a
I'm
Peter
just
hug.
giving them what they want, man.
That was fan service. Straight up.
Yup.
So anyway, more questions. What else came up? I have another question from Elvin from the Facebook event, but let's see who else.
Question: have you heard of AV Byte, and will you ever do a collaboration with them?
Who?
Yes, we definitely have heard of AV Byte. The interesting thing is they seem to be a lot less active now than they used to be.
Yeah.
We
I noticed that.
had some ideas that we threw around to them, but
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to sync up because they're on a different coast than we are. Occasionally, you've met one of their guys.
Both of
once.
them.
Both.
I've met
both of
VJ
them,
and
okay.
Antonius.
Yeah.
They were at a Nintendo thing. Yeah, they are busy on something.
hit
I
the
find it
news.
suspicious. They are doing
Honestly,
something, but
1 week ago,
Oh,
and 3
okay.
months ago. Wow.
all right. So that's what it is. I did remember that they were on Vessel, so maybe they're
Mhm.
taking things off of YouTube more. I don't know more than that. I haven't watched their new video about what
Yeah.
they're doing. But yeah, we did talk to them at some point. I think it'd be fun to work with them. They're in New York, we're in LA, so it'd take a little bit of structuring.
And they're basically done YouTubing right now.
They're pretty busy with stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure how much that stuff could include other YouTube channels.
Like, look at this, 8 months ago, and then 5 months ago.
Yeah,
So it's definitely.
it's rare that we can say we post more often than somebody, but because that they had, which one was it? Their Disney Frozen Princess one,
Jeez, that was
85 million views.
86 million, really.
Yeah, in about a year.
Wow.
If you can imagine, I mean, most things that go viral aren't seen 86 million times.
Right.
They are honestly well beyond the point of standard YouTubing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened is they, after doing a video that got watched that many millions of times, It was kind of like they didn't need to YouTube anymore. They didn't need to. They probably didn't need to do anything ever
Right.
again.
And like
but
that doesn't mean that
they
when-
have their own ambitions. They follow them. I know they wanted to do stuff with musical theater, or at least Antonius did. He wanted to get to do a show on stage, Broadway kind of style.
Right.
So my guess is somebody who can get 80 whatever million
can probably get some investor money.
probably
And
is
probably
able to
doesn't
do that
need
show.
the investor money, but he'd probably prefer not to
Yeah.
use his own money.
My
to
guess
do it.
is he can now professionally do that for
Yeah.
whatever theater company. Because like, how many other theater people can say that they made something that was that popular?
Right.
So, yeah, my guess is I do want to see the video when we're done with this to see what they're actually up to. But yeah, that's my
so
guess.
that yeah,
And I don't think they're coming to LA because again, if they want to do theater stuff,
they want to stay on the East Coast.
yeah. Now
So
VJ
anyway-
does more video stuff, so maybe they'll split at some point. but
True.
That doesn't seem necessarily great for either of them, given that they've done so much together.
Yeah.
So. But far be it for me to tell them what to do. They have a much more successful channel than we do. So, anyway, have heard of them, would like to work with them, have tried to work with them, haven't done it yet. So,
There you go.
there you go. Indeed.
Let's see.
What other
here.
questions have been coming up?
I have joined Mortals. You said that evil stapler.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that
Hi,
the
evil stapler.
evil stapler has joined.
I love that name.
That's what we needed.
Let's
Let's see. I see one about Monkey Island, the musical, from Jeverink Gaming.
Uh-oh.
You know who else wants a Monkey Island musical? David King.
Also known as Dr. Baboon.
Yeah, and he was
Also known
T-Block.
as T-Block.
What other things has he been at? He
Carol's
was the
bodyguard.
he's the fourth. He's the fourth guy in the People Smash Bros video. The one
Yeah.
that's like playing like this.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play pushing buttons. By the way, he sings much better than that. But
It
we were
just
like,
happened to be the character.
I'm like, Dave, can you please be the guy that's just like, and he's like, I will be that guy. Because there's always that guy. Somebody in the room is that guy.
It's usually me, in real life at least.
He might have been the one that's like, should I play with the Wiimote? And we're like, yes. It might have been his idea.
Yeah.
If not, he got really excited about it. I don't remember whose idea it was, and then he went and rolled with it, like, oh, let's choke you with it. Let's do something crazy with it.
Beautiful. As a non-Patreon, can we still challenge you guys to games? You can challenge, but we won't accept because we're cowards.
Also, because we're busy, but cowards also
Well,
cowards.
I was implying that we only subject ourselves to losing when
Okay.
there's money involved.
That's
We're
fair.
really, it's kind of sad how bad we are at games compared to you guys.
Yeah.
But
it's
when
pretty
you
bad.
actually look at it, it's probably because, I don't know,
We just don't play enough. We
instead
need to
of
practice
playing,
more.
we're making musicals. So.
Yeah. There are almost no games that we play on a regular
Yeah.
basis. Minecraft is the closest. I sign it once a week.
I sign in a lot more than once a week.
Yeah.
Right now, Minecraft
It's hard to be
is
good at Minecraft, though. It's
also
like,
true.
I mean,
Also
you can just
true.
not die a lot, and you can make really awesome stuff.
Right.
But that's the being good at Minecraft doesn't necessarily affect everybody else unless you're gonna go in and like slaughter all the other players, which you could do, but that would make you good. It'd make you kind of evil. So, what else? There was a question.
Enos for Smash Bros.
Enos. I saw somebody was recommending that. Oh,
Sorry, we're reading through your comments, guys.
sure. Question: when is Robin coming to the Smash Brotherhood? Robin's an example of a character. I don't know if he's coming to the Smash Brotherhood or not. And from what I hear from Fire Emblem people, they'd rather see Chrome, I'm not sure how to say his name, more than Robin potentially. So I don't actually know, even if we do like a Fire Emblem thing, because I remember reading up on Sakurai's statements about including Robin, and he kind of said the same thing. It's like, I think people wanted this other guy, but we wanted a character that's more different, so we went with like Robin.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of up in the air. When and if we get to a Fire Emblem thing, I'm going to have to start picking through the games because I don't know like anything about it. Spoiler! I don't know Fire Emblem. That's why all I know is I fight for my friends. And a bunch of Japanese that I don't actually understand from art. So, Great Ether! I know that.
Hi, Joseph. Joseph just became a fan, and he said, "Hi, guys. I just became a fan."
Thank you for just becoming a fan. We're so pleased to meet you. That's awesome. I love whenever we see somebody new come in. And I've seen a few of them in the chat today, actually. I don't know. Are you guys that are new, did you just find us from Chess with a Monkey? Did you just find us from Medics Don't Heal Scouts with Dodger? How are you? Did you find us from Resident Enos? It was a while ago.
You sounded so embarrassed by that.
No, I'm not embarrassed about it. And it was a fun video. It's different.
That's for sure.
And again, it's actually like 6 months old now or something like that. So it's weird to see people come in from that still. But
Mhm.
Oh.
People are getting really frustrated that this is not Twitch, apparently.
I also did not answer the Monkey Island question.
Right.
We
right.
talked about doing a Monkey Island thing. We might have even pitched a Monkey Island thing at some
to
point.
Felicia Day.
Okay, that's so.
We pitched it directly to Felicia Day along with a couple other things.
Okay, we did that. Is that Disney's property now too? I think
Is it?
because
I don't know.
Lucas stuff got bought by Disney, right? So and it was like Lucas Games or whatever that made Monkey Island. So that might actually be something that we can get like more official rights to do or something. I guess if that's a on YouTube, does anybody have rights to do anything? But if we want, that might be a better option. So I think Monkey Island would still be cool. I did go through and read all the stuff from the games because I haven't played them. You're gonna get this general theme that I don't play enough games. I'm sorry about that, by the way. But yeah, Monkey Island would make an awesome musical, and we do have some internal hardcore campaigning going on from David King, who insists on us making that.
There is a question about whether we're going to ever do Musical the Musical.
Musical the musical. I would say no.
Oh,
Probably
sad
not.
day.
I do see there are people that sometimes ask, what about DDR the musical, or Guitar Hero the musical, or Rock Band the music? And I'm like, maybe, it sounds a little goofy, but I'm willing to do it as a challenge just once, kind of as an April Fool's thing or something, maybe someday. We honestly, when we did Rhythm Thief the musical, I remember we had concerns when Sega was like, hey, so we got this little game coming on, it's a rhythm game, and we thought a musical would be fun. And we were like, oh, this is going to be silly. And then they're like,
lo and behold.
but then they're like, oh, but don't worry, it's got a story. And we're like, okay, let's hear it. And they're like, well, it's this kid, he's in France, and he's a detective, he steals art, but he's actually just looking for a thing. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is a story, all right. We can
Napoleon appears.
Napoleon's the bad guy. We're like, okay, all right, okay, we can roll with this. So, yeah, it was really, we get concerned about the idea of trying to do something based on a format generally, but in a case like Rhythm Thief, that was awesome. We were like, oh, this is a really in-depth storyline. We can totally work with that. And if you haven't played Rhythm Thief, go ahead and play it. I haven't played Rhythm Thief, so I should go ahead and play it. But I got to do extensive research and ask a lot of questions about it before it came out. So I just didn't have a 3DS at the time. Now that I have one, I should do it.
Yeah. There's a question about what cutie marks we would have and what cutie mark not Ethan,
Pony started today.
Enos would have. Really?
Pony started today.
Oh,
I believe.
that's
It's
exciting.
the 4th, yeah. I think it's already been on, and I didn't.
I think my cutie mark would be probably like either a computer.
the pen tool.
It would just be-
Photoshop.
We have an internal argument about whether the pen tool in Photoshop / After Effects is useful, and of course,
I hate the pen tool.
I love the thing to death. And
He's always advocating the pen tool.
it's a phenomenal piece of
Everything
software.
is like, oh, you just use the pen tool. And I'm
Then
like,
it would be a
shut up.
vector that you could zoom in as much as you freaking wanted to.
Tools. Oh, I hate
Yeah.
the pen tool.
You know, without the pen tool, we wouldn't be able to print on hats, which we still can't do, actually.
Because I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, never mind.
So anyway,
So I think my kitty mark would probably be some computer thing like a mouse or a pen tool or something.
I don't know what my cutie mark would be. I once tried to make a fan art pony, and it was terrible looking. But I gave it a little smile, like an emoticon with a little 3 face.
Oh, nice. That's
And I
cute.
was like, that's fun. It's kind of internety, and it's kind of.
And now the real question, Enos's
cutie mark.
cutie mark.
What does cutie mark be? I feel like it would be like, I want to say some sort of like a rainbow with like little hearts for clouds and like a big floating like Rice Krispie treat with a face. It would be really
Classy.
out there.
Classy.
And it would be really obnoxious because you'd have to like zoom way in to be able to tell what you're looking at.
Nice.
It's just this mess of color and
Nice.
squiggles and things like that.
This is a good question. Can you do any more Minecraft Let's Plays? We're actually planning at least 2 more Minecraft Let's Plays in the next couple weeks
Great.
because our Patreon, which is where you can go to donate money per musical that we make to like help support our work. On our Patreon, we have a tier at $3 where you can like play games with us. Specifically, we're playing Minecraft right now, and our entire server is going to fight. We're going to hopefully spawn and fight like withers and stuff, and then we're going to spawn, or we're going to go to the end and fight the Ender Dragon. So that's going to be kind of awesome and fun. I probably should put it on hard when we do that. Because we're going to have way too many people to make it any kind of challenge, I think. I've never done it, so I don't actually know how much of a challenge it is. Anyway, totally about to happen soon. It'll be cool.
We have another question that I've been seeing. Where is it? Oh, do you both have Steam?
Yes.
I'm a console gamer, so I have Steam, but I don't use it.
I have Steam, and I don't use it because I don't play many games, and when I do play games, it's probably either Minecraft or Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect 3 being only on Origin. So I don't use Steam much, to be perfectly honest. And Mass Effect 4, when it comes out, is going to take that over anyway. So there might be this little window where I'm like, oh, I don't have any games to play. I'll play something on Steam. It's bad. It's bad, man.
Yeah. So there are a number of suggestions for musicals, as always, including Mario Galaxy.
And another Captain Falcon musical.
And yes, Mario Party the musical. I was thinking that all these Mario ones were coming from Ethan because he's always asking about Mario stuff. But
True.
actually, Ethan, where are all your questions about Mario musicals? None of them have been from you. Okay. Well,
Nice.
I guess Ethan just doesn't want us to do anything with Mario
Clearly.
anymore. That's the only solution. Yeah, so there's a lot of different musicals that we haven't gotten to yet. Again, we will do some with Mario at some point. I don't know if it'll be Galaxy specific or whatever, Mario Party. We talked about doing a Mario Party one at some point. So yeah, the only musicals I think that we really have firmly in place right now to do this year are Five Nights at Freddy's and Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
I think those are the two games that we can really lock.
I mean, we know
that'll
that
happen.
we know we're gonna do a Legend of Zelda one. We want to do a Star Fox one.
What happens if, for example, if Zelda got bumped?
Okay, fair.
If Zelda gets bumped
That's
from
fair,
this year,
yeah.
we might hold it off.
That's a good
And
point.
same thing with Star Fox. If we find out Star Fox isn't coming out or something like that.
Mhm.
So the two that we are absolutely right now like underway on in
Yeah.
some way are basically Ace Attorney and Five Nights at Freddy's. And I know how much you guys hate Five Nights at Freddy's and don't want to see us do something for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, no one likes that.
All
game.
over the chat is just people going, "Oh, I hope they don't make Five Nights at Freddy's with Markiplier. That would be
Nice.
terrible. I would cry myself to sleep at night if they did that."
That's funny.
I'm being sarcastic. we know how much you guys want to see that, and we're trying to make that
And
happen.
we're really hoping the rest of the internet wants to see that.
Yeah,
too.
kind of hoping, yeah. And then there's still some commotion about getting Mega Man for Smash Brothers. And we did have a Mega Man pitch as well at some point. I feel sad that we talk about pitches a lot more
Yeah, I
than
know.
like our musicals at
I
this
know.
point. But we did have an idea for a Mega Man one based on the fact that Capcom doesn't use him in anything anymore.
Mhm.
And that disheartens us too. So we thought doing a song about Mega Man and Dr. Wily trying to like go sit in a meeting with Capcom and convince them that they were still cool and they should, do a thing, and make a game together again or something. I'm like, that'd be kind of a fun song to do, where you get Dr. Wily and Mega Man like team up to try to, get their jobs back basically. But I don't remember what we did instead. We did something else, and that's sitting someplace on a thing to get made, maybe someday.
Ha! The pen tool is useful.
Depends. By the way, Z Pokemon Fan A greets us from Iceland and asked about the Phoenix Wright musical, or rather, how about a Phoenix Wright musical? So I don't remember what we said about it in the past, but I know I just answered something in the discussion on our channel regarding Phoenix Wright that we're going to be doing an original case. It won't be based on one of the cases that's actually used in one of the games, but we are going to try to basically write our own.
It's a weird case.
And use a bunch of different characters from the games that everybody kind of remembers and likes. We're only using the generally characters from the first 3 games in the series because those are the 3 that I played. I have access to the other ones, but then after I got through the first 3, I'm like, okay, I got the story. Like, let's just go with this.
Yeah, AJ has come up with a very, very, very strange case for the game, or for the musical.
It's difficult.
And I understand because you can't really call it strange if it's so well in the universe or whatever.
Yeah, it's got to be like bizarre, like
Yeah.
what they do in the games, because
Yeah.
nothing is ever the way it seems
Uh-huh.
in the game. So, and I was surprised because I knew that going in, and then when I played Ace Attorney, I was like, wow, they still were catching me off guard throughout
Nice.
most of these cases. Even when I thought I had it figured out, sometimes it was like a triple cross where it wasn't just the simple like giant twist at the end. It was like a giant twist that flip flop back the other way. Like, what? I was barely getting adjusted to
Is
the
it like
idea
a
that it was
slinky?
this. Kind of.
It's like a slinky.
It's like a slinky going down the stairs. It goes a little.
I like
It's
it.
hard to stop it once it gets going. So anyway, hi, Big Kitty. You want to jump up here?
Big
You want to
Kitty.
come up here?
Hello.
Mia Kitty. Meow, meow, meow,
I'm almost
meow,
to the
meow.
end of the comments. Oh man.
That's exciting.
I mean,
Oh, so anyway,
they want my bank account. Okay.
I'm going to answer Elvin's question before I forget it.
Oh, good call.
Elvin on Facebook had asked about Enos, and specifically about Enos's chickens, because in Resident Enos, he in the middle of the song is like, "Oh, I hope I have some chickens left." I should do that in the voice.
Oh, I hope I have some chickens left.
Well done.
And then he takes off to go check on his chickens, and who knows what he does, because by the time he comes back, he's just got a kazoo. So it's really unclear if that was part of the spell or not. Originally, I was going to say that because the question is, why does he have chickens? If he is a
Yes.
vegan vampire,
Vampire.
a vegan vampire, why does he need chickens? Like, he's not going to eat the eggs, he's not going to eat the chickens. And my original thought was, well, he has like a petting zoo of chickens, but the thing is, he doesn't lock it down very well, so they like run away on him. Because who wouldn't run away if you trapped in Enos's house with him? So that was my thought. However, now I'm thinking he doesn't. I mean, he does look at the book when he yells it, but I'm not convinced he actually. It might have been that he looked at like play kazoo and he remembered his kazoo. He keeps his kazoo by the chickens, and that's why he was going. You know, he just it was a stream of consciousness. But
What if he plays kazoo while playing Minecraft?
that could be.
We have evidence that vegans eat chickens in Minecraft.
Could you excuse me for one moment?
Sure.
And keep the chat going, because I think I have the definitive answer about the
Oh,
chicken thing.
wow.
I think I have an official
Okay.
in canon answer.
So this is Mia Kitty. If you haven't been on our channel, and and Gotham was like, It was amusing. So let's see here. What kinds of questions are? Oh, Mario Kart the musical. So when Mario Kart 8 came out, Nintendo sent us a copy, and they were like, "Hey, you don't have to do anything with this, but here's a copy." And we tried to set up this like let's play / musical thing that's a lot like the Smash Brothers musical we did with Mark and Dodger over at Polaris, and it was going to be like this giant rage session because Mario Kart that's all it does is it makes everyone angry. It was going to be kind of awesome, and that just never happened. So maybe we'll get back to that one day. Maybe when they come out with Mario Kart 9, I don't know, on whatever. I don't know what their new console is, but like it's something about fitness. I don't know, whatever. Or Mario Kart 9 on the phone. Trippy. You guys, this is us. That's trippy. So anyway, hey, phone, where? I need to look at your comments. It's not refreshing. Refresh. Where? They have 2 cats. All right, let's see here. Hi. Hello. Oh, and about chickens. One of you guys, or a couple of you guys in the Minecraft server, constantly infest my house with chickens. So like my house has millions of chickens, and it's a problem because it slows down the server apparently. So sometimes I have to go through like this horrible slashing of the chickens festival, and it's really sad because they're kind of cute. Croc the Vote, KROC, is a hashtag that one of you guys, an encounter, is setting up, but that's basically trying to get, as far as I can tell, K. Rool into Smash Brothers, right? You can go ahead and pitch it, Transfatalvania, but I think that's the long and short of it. When will the FNAF musical be out? Initially, it was going to be April, but we ran into some trouble in terms of just like timing and stuff. And Mark went to the hospital, which slowed things down, and just a bunch of stuff. So we've had to postpone it until what's after April, May. So I apologize for that, but we do have a lot of assets for it. We're building it out. It's going to be really gorgeous and hilarious and adorable. Yeah, so that's happening, but it will only happen in May. We have to figure out a simpler musical for this month, which did derail us a bit. But I mean, you can't help that your star went to the hospital. Like it happens sometimes, right? So Let's see
All right,
here.
we're back.
Uh-oh.
And I did indeed find what I was looking for.
Oh, good job.
Okay. So what I have here in my hand is
Oh.
at some point during Enos, I actually typed up what the magical spell book has in it
Wow.
according to how the song goes.
Right.
But what it is it's typed in the order that is backwards. So that's what I'm going to read this off for you guys. I believe, because I don't see kissing anybody on here.
Enos.
I believe that no matter what, once you follow the steps,
Uh-huh.
the end of the spell is you kiss the person. So no matter
Interesting.
what order the steps are,
Uh-huh.
you always finish with that's like saying it basically.
Right.
Is you
So
got
like at the beginning of
seal.
the beginning of the spell book, it says after each spell you kiss the target.
sure, basically, or something like that. Kind of like if you're gonna make food in the oven,
Yeah.
at the end, you
You have
take
to
it
take
out.
it out of the oven.
It doesn't necessarily say take it out. It just says cook
Right.
it for this long.
Okay.
So that's so the order of Enos's magical spell, according to the paper I printed out or typed up back when we were making it, is the first step is you have to summon Hellbeast from space. That is the first thing you do. Then step 2, take out the garbage. Step 3, watch a movie. Step 4, eat some Parmesan cheese. Step 5, whittle a pickle. Step 6, play kazoo. Step 7, something with chickens. Something with chickens. Step 8, drink from a heart jar. Step 9, wear a big hat. Step 10, have a seance and play Old Maid. Now that's together, and play Old
Oh,
Maid.
interesting.
You'll notice that some of these do say and or with or while, and that's why it works either direction. Step 11, scatter ashes during a parade while wearing tutus. So
Nice.
those are not separate steps. Those
Right.
are, you have to do all those things together as a step. Step 12, wash a severed leg. That didn't end up in the video.
It didn't. That's why the spell
You
didn't
did
work.
it wrong. I can tell you why that didn't end up in the video. I think it's in the trivia that we post on Facebook too.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. I didn't notice that. Wash a severed leg. That step
Oh,
was
we're-
replaced because we were told that there was a severed leg prop on set.
the set,
So
yeah,
Dodger's
yeah.
supposed to wash a severed
Right.
foot or whatever. And then we got there was no severed leg that we could use.
Uh-huh.
So we happen to have Eisenstein with us, the skeleton torso. And we said, what if she brushes Eisenstein's teeth instead? Because she was going to use the toothbrush to wash the foot. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
what if she brushes Eisenstein's teeth instead? So
Close enough.
step 12 would be brush a skeleton's teeth, I guess. Step 13, hit someone with a metal chair. Step 14, here's another compound one. Shake a baby doll while shrieking like a weasel and flailing on the floor. Got to do all those things.
Wow. It's quite a
It's a
bit.
really complicated process. Step 15, throw the baby down the stairs. Oh, yes, because you were shaking a baby doll while shrieking like a
Yes.
weasel. Yeah. Step 15 is throw the baby down the stairs. Step 16, pretend to fly. Now, backwards, does that make sense, though?
Probably not.
Because they shook the baby doll before throwing down the stairs
Uh-huh.
the right way. So they should have thrown down the stairs before.
And then shaking it.
I think what it is, oh, you know what it is? I think that should still be a compound thing, is what it is.
Oh,
Is-
gotcha.
Yeah, throwing down the stairs should have been part of that line. Like you're gonna, because he did say once you've done that for 2 hours. So I think that's
Right.
supposed to be the same step. Is
Uh-huh.
you're shaking and shrieking, you do it for 2 hours, and after 2 hours, you're gonna throw it down the stairs.
Fair enough.
I think that's what that is. Step 16, pretend to fly. Step 17, paint faces on your toes. Step 18, eat a plate of flapjacks. Step 19, stick a bee in your nose. Step 20, iron a cactus. Step 21, flick someone's ear. Step 22, fill a shoe with raisins. Step 23, close one eye, also the other one, and shout a magical word,
Okay.
like linguini, for example. So that is the official, and I was trying to make it make sense.
Yeah.
And as I can see, it's still a little iffy, but that is officially. And the official word is something with chickens. It does not actually, we don't know.
Of course, that also doesn't clear up why he has chickens.
No, it doesn't. I think for magical spells, because he has to do something with them.
Good point.
And since it's so vague, I'm going to say that something can include like the hokey pokey. Like
Okay.
do the hokey pokey with the
Okay.
chickens.
Okay.
That sounds like the kind of thing Enos would keep chickens around for.
Fair enough.
I don't know why he has to check if they're still left. Because they died from hokey pokeying too much. Death by hokey pokey, the worst way to go.
How long does filming or preparing a musical usually take? We try to do about one a month, so that's just like a guideline. Sometimes it'll take 4 months, sometimes it'll take 4 days. We've literally had a musical take 4 days from coming up with the idea to posting it on YouTube. And we've also, like I said, had a musical go on for 4 entire months of like
Yeah.
post-production behind, like, you know, graphics in the background and stuff. And that was for Princess Peach, which is really short.
Yeah.
Really short.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy it took that long.
Phanto of the Mushroom Kingdom also took like
True.
4
But
months
part of
or
that
5
was
months.
because it got delayed by
Yeah,
legal.
we would have gotten to that a little bit faster.
Uh-huh.
But that's a harder video, and it was also going to take a while.
Yeah.
By the way, I do handle other Twitter stuff. So if we're talking to you on Twitter, it's often me.
Yeah.
In general, even if Peter talks to you, I still talk to you as well because it's hard to tell if we've already like addressed something. So
Yep.
I love Twitter. And I like to check it a lot. I have a really clunky old phone that I can't show you because I don't have it on me. So I have to be at a computer to do it. So I don't tweet as often as I want to, but even when Peter talks to you on Twitter, oftentimes I accidentally do as well. So if you get 2 messages from us, it means both of us looked at your post. If you get 1, it means probably I looked at it. So, and
Who is member of the Coco crew? Do you know that person?
what?
Okay, no, you don't. This person knows about Patches the Potato.
Clearish pictures of Patches.
Are there any clearish pictures of Patches the Potato? I don't even
into
know.
an actual plan? Because you are passionate about Patches the Potato.
He's
I'll
about
be
to
right back
give you
again.
a clearish picture. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about a question that is popping up a lot right now: the Smash Brotherhood and when it comes out. So the problem with Smash Brotherhood is we have to pay our bills, and unfortunately, Smash Brotherhood has proven very successfully not to pay our bills. Musicals do, and Smash Brotherhood doesn't. So until we're able to pay our bills outside of like musicals and our day jobs, we can't do the Smash Brotherhood. We simply can't, because the Smash Brotherhood episode took 3 months maybe to produce. This one is going to take more because we have a really complicated set we have to build, and there's a lot of action sequences in it. So it's an investment we can't make yet. We do have a Patreon, which we have been altering to really pinpoint we are doing the Smash Brotherhood once we get X dollars on Patreon. So that is the fastest way to get us closer to it. I don't know when that's going to happen, but we really want to, which is why before on Patreon, we had a whole bunch of things like, oh, if you donate this much, we'll get a new microphone. If you get this much, we'll get a new lens, and blah, blah, blah. And now we're like, no, just donate. We'll do Smash Brotherhood because we really want to do the show. It's amazing. And we're like, this story is epic. It's exciting. It should exist. So that's unfortunately the lowdown on the Smash Brotherhood right now.
And I don't know if you touched on this, Peter, but it's not even just about being able to afford the things we need for it, but we also have to be able to afford the time for it. And the time isn't even just being free of jobs. It's also being free of making musicals. So we either have to be able to make a bunch of musicals all really fast and then post them slowly, or we have to stop making musicals while we work on Smash Brotherhood.
Yeah.
So either way, it's gonna
tough.
take some things, but we want to do it still. We want to find a way to do it. I'd love to be able to make enough musicals in a row that we could kind of keep those going.
That'd be cool.
All right, so Patches the Potato. I'd like to introduce you guys. It's Patches the Potato. There he is.
Hi, Patches.
I don't know how to make it more focused.
Nice. That is a clear picture of
That's
Patches. Oh my goodness.
He's got glue on his back because I tried to attach him to an outfit once.
Lovely.
Yeah, I made a horror movie called The Garbage Man, and I thought it'd be fun to stick Patches the Potato on the outfit. So what Patches is, here, I'll knock him on something. I'll knock him on the tripod.
Ooh, you knock him on the
That's the
microphone.
sound. That's the sound of. Ow! That's Patches the Potato. He's hard as a rock, as you can tell, and he is a real potato. He's been around for 7 years,
Yeah,
8 years,
something like that.
Oh, I think coming up on 10 years.
He's a legit potato.
He was a legit potato.
No, he's still a legit potato.
I suppose so. Now you also might be able to tell he's got kind of he's like rotting out in the middle a little bit. But the thing is, he's like petrified. It's more like he's like chiseling out in the middle.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so what this is his mouth section. His mouth section, I believe, is where he had the skin taken off because he was a boiled potato from a school lunch when I was in like high school, and he used to have little corn eyes. In fact, you can still see a little bit of it here. He's got kind of like
I had no idea he had corn eyes.
Yeah, he had
before.
little pieces of corn that got like stuck into like holes in his head.
That's cute.
Yeah, and they were like his corn. But then as they started to crumble, because the corn didn't hold up like the potato just shrunk into like a rock, and the corn actually like fell off and chiseled apart. So I'm like, he needs new eyes. So then I took white out. So that's why he has little eyeballs. That's white out with marker. It's where the corn used to be. And again, he still has a little bit of corn kind of left in there. You can sort of see up next to his eyeball here. But so anyway, that's Patches the Potato. He's been around. He's been to Japan. He's been to the Atlantic Ocean. He's been to the Pacific Ocean.
Oh,
Has he been anywhere else? I think he's been to Canada and
he's been
maybe Mexico.
You didn't go to Florida, did you?
No, he came to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been New York, Florida. Like I said, California. He lives here now. I seriously consider leaving him in the desert at some point. But I was like, that's not fair. Like, he needs a better send-off than that. So I don't know what I'm going to do with him someday, because he just sits around at this point. He doesn't really do anything. But he used to be very active.
He does not pay his rent.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, he used to go hide in people's classrooms in high school, and he got passed around, I think, a few lockers at some point. And yeah, I just need to put him in a display case or something. Patches the Potato. He was going to be on our web series with Eisenstein.
Yeah.
In fact, if we ever continue that, he will still be on it. So Patches the Potato. He's pretty cool. I like him.
There's a nice question here. How long does it take us to find the perfect place to make our songs? It really depends on the song. First of all, everything always depends. The Medic song, AJ location scouted for maybe 2 days or 2 or 3 days, and we had brainstorming way before that to try to figure out where to shoot it. And so that, that took a considerable amount of effort in comparison to, for instance, Godzilla, where the entire production was the script was written because YouTube Space was like, hey, we have these 4 locations, do something cool with them. So and then there's things like Hyrule Warriors, where it's all about, okay, we've got this forest that we know that we frequent when we shoot in forests. So let's just go to the forest and find some place in there that looks like the right kind of place, and then we'll shoot there. So that's just all about on set the day of, we're wandering the forest, finding the right place to shoot a thing. So it really depends. Sometimes we're given the location and we have to come up with an idea. Some like that was what Resident Enos was. We were told, hey, you have a mansion, make something weird. And we did.
Yeah. Okay. So, a couple questions that have been coming up. First of all, how old are we?
Okay.
I'm 28. No, 27.
I think we're 27.
Yeah, we're 27.
27.
We turned 28 this year.
Yeah, something like that.
28 sounds so old, so I've been like, ooh. But the honest truth is, a lot of YouTubers are older than that still too.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say we're on the young end of YouTubing, but we're also not actually on the old. I think we're in the middle.
Yeah.
So far as the average YouTubers.
Do either of you guys actually play Pokemon? I've never played Pokemon except for an hour of Pokemon Snap.
Ooh, I do.
AJ.
I don't play it as much anymore. What I've been playing a lot of, it doesn't count, but I like it still. I'm going to give it a shout out anyway. Is Pokemon Shuffle for free on 3DS. That is actually a very fun game. And I don't like puzzle games. But because it incorporates little Pokemon elements like being super effective against another type and catching the Pokemon at the end if you did well enough and then adding it to your team and things like that, I've really enjoyed Pokemon Shuffle. But the past Pokemon games that are straight up RPGs, I also played those too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to Pokemon Rumble, whatever the name is, the new free-to-play 3DS one. There was another question about Patches stinking from Dana. I haven't sniffed him really, but I can't smell him.
I can't smell him.
Yeah, so if I stick my nose right up to that like weird hole in him,
maybe
it might be a little stinky.
But at this point, it's so petrified.
I was gonna say he's so old.
Yeah.
He might smell musty, but I don't think he probably actually has he's definitely not like rotten, like squishy, juicy rotten. He's
past that.
He's basically a rock. He really is. And I don't remember him ever being a stinky potato, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We had another potato called the butt-tato that had like a butt shape on it. And that one actually stunk, and it got like juicy and weird and started leaking.
I don't want to hear this.
We kept it in the valedictorian's locker because he was kind of a stinky guy as well. So he had a funny beard and stuff. We called him Fink. Fink was his name.
Nice.
Yeah, and Fink was in on this too. So Fink kept the potato in his locker. Fink knows Patches.
Wow.
I'm sure there are probably pictures of Fink and Patches together. So
How do you get
I miss that
your great props for your videos? Some of them we build just like from by hand from scratch kind of thing. Some of them we construct out of other props. Some of them again, Hyrule Warriors, the swords were Sparrow's and the rapier specifically was Katie Wilson's, who let us borrow that. So every musical, it depends. There's no one answer for how do you make a thing, because it's just availability, time, and what you need to build to do it. I don't know.
And occasionally, we even get to work with our friend Scott, who runs the Prop Masters Handbook.
True.
So if you want to go find out how to build low-budget props for yourself,
Ooh, like the sniper rifle.
He's done all exactly like the sniper rifle the Beer uses in the new Medics Don't Heal Scouts musical. So if you want to learn how to build props yourself out of things you've got around like cardboard, duct tape, laundry detergent bottles, things like that you can actually go to the dollar store and you can get for a few bucks. He does an awesome job with them, but you're gonna have to do some work, and they take a lot of creativity and arts and crafts skills. So check those out too. It's called the Prop Masters Handbook. Look that up on YouTube. It's easy to find, and he's done a lot of weapons. And I'm happy to report that he has Avengers weapons coming up. So
I've been working on the visual effects for those.
I'm probably not supposed to have blown that right now, because I don't think he's announced that officially.
Oops.
But oops, shh, don't tell him that we told you that. But anyway, if you want to see some really cool weapon stuff on his channel, as well as some non-weapons, you can totally go check him out. Prop Masters Handbook. He does a great job. There were questions about conventions we could go to, including stuff like in Colorado, and I know Canada is one that we get a lot. Can we come up to Canada? This year, we haven't gotten much traveling in at all. We generally only go to conventions and stuff if they can pay to have us, to pay for our travel. Because the money that we do make tends to go into musical stuff. And occasionally a video game, but not often. So that's, unfortunately, unless the convention can bring us there, we often don't go. And I wish we could, but that's just, it's a thing between the convention and their budget, is whether or not they can have us be there. And a lot of times they'd rather pay for a voice actor or somebody like that instead of.
So if you know your convention hosts, you can say, hey, we've got this great group that you should totally bring to our convention.
Or heck, you don't even have to know them. If you know like the website or the Twitter account or the Facebook page, you can always go advocate, hey, I would love you guys to have so-and-so at the convention. And I think that works, because I don't know how often they get people requesting specific guests. I think a lot of times they just deal with what they have access to. So if they're getting asked, please bring so-and-so, or I would love to see so-and-so on this end
So
of the
you
country.
people in Hawaii.
So if you want to see us near you, that's one great way to do it. If you live anywhere near California, your odds improve.
Truth.
So
we've even gone to Las Vegas before.
I'm working on getting us back up to like San Francisco area for later this year. But so far, we haven't gotten out to Vegas at all this year, which is usually a convention hotspot. We've never, I think, been to New Mexico or Arizona for a convention, and that's sad. So at minimum, we're trying to spread out on the West Coast. But eventually one day, I think we're going to be able to go out to the other parts of the U.S. and maybe even out of it. So,
is the medic in the Medic musical the same from the medic in the Medics Don't Heal Scouts video? The answer is very, very yes. If you actually watch the Medic musical, he makes a mention of being knifed in the back by a spy after healing him or something. And anyway, that was the entire impetus for the Medics Don't Heal Scouts musical. We were like, what if we made a prequel? It's like not really a prequel, because it's just like a tiny moment of the song that he mentions, but in some ways it's kind of like a character defining moment for him. So yes, that is the same Medic with slightly shorter hair, because AJ got a haircut the day before, and apparently when I got my haircut recently, I asked what a 5 was, and she's like, oh, a 5 is really short.
Really?
Yeah. So don't ask for a 5, bring pictures instead.
I don't want to bring pictures. I just put it, me get wrong. Me. Where would you on? Hey, there was a question about Gyarados from TCDEG. Did you find your Gyarados eventually, Peter? Peter being the fisherman.
Canonically, when does the Eevee song occur?
I forget. Oh man, we have to write this down sometime.
I think the Eevee song happens.
I'm pretty sure it goes Magikarp, Zubat,
I agree.
Then it jumps back to Mudkip,
Yes,
Cubone
because he
Mudkip,
gets a
then
yeah.
the Eevee song. I
Yeah.
think Eevee song still comes in after all of
I
that.
think I agree. In which case, it's still questionable whether I did or not, but at least we're in the same room. Because the Eevee song, if it does actually happen after the Magikarp song,
I think it was a chance meeting. I don't think
Yeah,
you found him
okay,
so much
that's
as you
fair.
both go to the same Gentleman's Club. And with that, I'm also going to say that I believe, I was just thinking about this, I think the Pikachu that is in the Gentleman's Club might be the one that was trying to be Clefairy in the Singachu song.
Right.
I'm not sure it's the Pikachu from the Magikarp song.
gotcha.
Because that one clearly got eaten at the end.
Yeah. that's
Spoilers!
true.
So yeah, I'm thinking about, I'm like, that would make sense why he's sitting there getting depressed by himself at the end. It's because people keep telling him he's not a Pikachu.
Uh-huh.
My guess is he was told he wasn't a Clefairy either.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably by me.
Probably.
Because I was looking for a Clefairy at one point. A little backstory in the Zubat song. Obviously, I'm like, I need someone who knows Flash, right? And Clefairy knows Flash.
I
think.
Clefairy knows Metronome.
Oh,
Metronome maybe can be Flash.
gotcha.
I don't know. Maybe the fisherman doesn't know. He's never had a Pokemon that wasn't a
'Cause
magic.
I thought that was the implication, was that then in the Cubone song, I have a Clefairy.
I definitely think you settled on it because you got the stuffing beaten out of you
Right.
in a cave full of Zubats. So I think when you're that desperate and all you have is one Magikarp
Uh-huh.
following you around, I think you resort to these kind of measures of like,
That's
I better
fair.
get a Clefairy. He was offering.
That's fair.
Yeah. Wait. Just confirming it. Can be learned by. This claims that Clefairy can learn
Yes.
HM05. So maybe.
Okay. Well,
But that is also one of the older games. I haven't kept track. Other questions. Amiibo. How many Amiibo do we have?
too many.
Yeah,
AJ.
like
That's a
18
pile.
or something. Probably in the ballpark of 18. I see there's a new wave coming very soon, so I'm like, yes. I did go on GameStop and was one of the people that helped bring the site down because there are too many people trying to get a Nest Amiibo, and I did not get one. I didn't even see the page ever load successfully, so that's okay.
Yes,
I'll survive.
the cat spooked me. Apparently, everyone's asking, or
Oh.
was asking a while ago, why I screeched. And there was a tiny cat, and it did things that were terrifying.
Transfalvania wants
Uh-oh.
to know if he builds a King K. Rool puppet, would we use it for a song? And
I mean, we can't answer absolutely, but
because we don't know absolutely if we'd make another
Right.
K. Rool song.
I mean, if
But-
we were
I would love to see what that looks like. So don't go out of your way to do it until maybe we talk more because they have to think about a
Yeah.
good way to do it. But I think it'd be fun. I could see maybe a song because he'd also asked earlier about I think doing like a K. Rool for Smash kind of video or something. I'm like, it could be fun if he wants to demonstrate what, like, oh, if I was in Smash, I would, I'd look kind of like this and I'd do this whatever thing. And he'd be so dastardly and evil. So it'd be kind of fun. I kind of turned into Joker. They have a lot in common. They're both evil.
you're evil.
Fundalin Burst asked, where did you guys get the idea of how to beat a monkey at chess?
Too many questions.
There were also
man.
questions, how do we get ideas in general for musicals? So they kind of depend what, either if we have a cosplayer / actor who is perfect for a role, that can determine, okay, we better come up with a video for that character.
Mhm.
Or if there's an event going on, like again, Godzilla, they were like, we're doing a Godzilla thing with this cool set. And it's like, yeah, we're going to do Godzilla the musical. The only other one is if we just have randomly in the shower or something, a funny idea. They're like, wouldn't it be funny if this happened? And then that can be, if it's a good enough one of those, we might just use a fun idea and say, let's find a way to do it. So
For instance, when AJ ran out of the shower and yelled, "We're gonna make a musical about a sparkly vampire named Enos,"
I forgot that literally is what happened.
And we're like, what?
That was what happened. Was it? Did we know that they had a horror set? We're just trying to come up with an idea.
Yes, yes.
And that
we
was
did.
it. It was
Yes.
literally okay. Guys, I got this. his sparkly vampire named Enos, and that was part of it. He had to be named Enos.
Yes, that was part of it.
That was part of it.
We actually get a lot of ideas in the shower. Not together,
No.
obviously, because I'm dating someone else.
Sure,
But-
also I shower by myself. That's not. That's part of the reason. So yeah, now that we've answered the question you didn't ask about how we got the idea for Enos, the monkey and the chess thing. We knew that we had an opportunity to film with the dog and the monkey at YouTube Space LA, and they wanted projects that would use the dog and the monkey in it, doing something kind of simple that they could be kind of taught to do or they were trained for.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we settled on that, but chess is something that's kind of fun to film usually, even though it's a really boring game in a lot of ways. It still looks cool when people are doing it. So it was like, what can we do that, you know, the monkey can actually pull off? It's like a chess board is not that hard to work with. You know, if the monkey just picks up one thing or, you know, sets it down, it's like, that's not too much. It's not asking the monkey to shoot a basketball into a hoop, which the monkey could do apparently, because I saw another group did that. I was like, what? You could do that? Oh, we should have made Monkey Basketball the movie or whatever.
Monkey Bud, the musical.
Monkey Bud the musical. So yeah, it was just kind of migrating from what can the monkey do, you know, now that we have a monkey, and the ideas that, you know, kind of came up were things like that. And we settled on chess is fun because it's kind of a game still, so there's a competition, and it's fun when you have kind of an underdog to root for. And the funny part about it was like, is the word subverting that? I think it is. Subverting the idea of who's the underdog. You'd assume that the monkey's going to lose no matter what. So the fact that you end up rooting for the humans to try to beat the monkey is kind of fun and interesting. And it gets all the more fun and interesting when the humans are played by people that you actually care about in real life too. It's not just a couple, you know, human people. It's Markiplier and it's Gerard and MatPat and people like. It's like now we have a game going where you hate that monkey, that darn monkey. And that one guy, nobody.
And then you've got times where it's like, okay, the game's coming out. Hyrule Warriors is coming out. We should totally make a musical about Hyrule Warriors. And then it's just, where's the hook? What is interesting about what about Hyrule Warriors is really cool, and what should we, you know, highlight about it? Obviously, with Hyrule Warriors, we didn't do very much about the specific game at all. Actually, we did more about the, you know, the characters and their canon throughout all of the games. But point is, the idea generation comes from all over the place, and it's all about one element falls into place, and after that we're like, oh, here's the element, we have to come up with the rest of the thing now. And that's really a pretty common theme, is one thing happens and that creates the entire musical from there. Have you come up with something while I was talking?
Only that there are still questions about when the next Smash Brotherhood thing is coming out, and we don't have a firm time on that. It will depend on which characters. So, for example, if we're gonna do Five Nights at Freddy's, I can pretty much guarantee Solid Snake's not gonna walk in and be like, "Hey, you, do you want to join the Smash Brotherhood?" Same thing with Ace Attorney. I don't think he's gonna come in and be like, "Phoenix Wright, I want you in the Smash Brothers." So, I don't have an answer for that. There's another question here that was an interesting one. But I remember getting it once before. I think it was from Elvin, actually. Leone, probably Leone, Van Meteren, wanted to know if we'd ever consider writing a novel.
A novel?
I'm just going to expand it to a book. You ever thought about writing a book, Peter?
Yes, but you're not going to like my real answer.
What is your real answer?
I've thought about writing textbooks about certain kinds of programs.
Wow, that's so boring.
So, like I said, you're not going to like my answer.
Well, that's fun. That's a very Peter answer.
It is.
I have written a couple books when I was younger, actually, and they didn't like publish or anything, so you never got to see them. My mom has copies printed out someplace.
Nice.
As a kid, when I was like in junior high, I was reading a lot of those cool like sci-fi action books. They were more comic booky, but they're still like, they were without pictures and stuff. They were actual novels. And this kind of sci-fi fiction stuff was really cool. I was like, this is fun. They're superheroes like in space and they fight whatever. So I did my own called Space Dogs. And oh, you heard that before?
You told me about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wrote like 4 books of them. Like, and the thing is, they were pretty like rudimentary, but they got longer and longer and more elaborate. And then at some point, I started realizing they were turning into movie scripts. Basically, I'm like, this is basically the opening to a James Bond movie or something. And that's, I think, where I started really making the change from being like a writer to being on video. It was like I about that same time started like taking my parents' camcorder, like let's go out and make a movie with my friends. So that was, I think, the first step toward me actually doing video stuff for YouTube. But inevitably was writing and going, I'm writing more and more action-y things. I want to try actually filming one of these instead. So that's a good question, actually. I haven't written anything on a novel or book level since. Someday maybe, because I still like the idea of books. I just rather write it to than film, I think.
Alyssa asks, what do you find the most rewarding part of doing YouTube? I think for me at this point, I get to essentially make whatever I want to some degree. Obviously, there are limits to that. I get to make what I want. People see what I wanted to make. People enjoy what I wanted to make, and I pay my bills from that. It's literally, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's slowly becoming like living the dream, which is kind of sad. I for knowing that I got lucky doing this. It's sad that so many people can't, but it's really cool to make whatever I want, make it at whatever quality I'm capable of making at the moment, instead of having to go out and like hire 1 million people just to make it so that it will be seen. We can make what we want at our level, at our ability, and people will watch it and love it, and it's great.
Yeah, there are two, I think, things that I find most rewarding. One of them is obviously the fans. I love that we're in touch with so many people, and I love to see how you guys react to things, because I feel like that's the ultimate reward, even more than the getting paid thing, because you hear people, who do get paid money and are still unhappy, because money does not make you happy. It gives you things and ways to try to improve your mood. Like, it really does do that. But by itself, it's just capital. And if you feel like the things you're making aren't fulfilling and aren't enjoyable for you, then it just becomes another job. Like, there are 1 million jobs out there that you make money at. So it's really the reactions that you get from people when you're doing what you want, and then you see that they liked it too. Then you have that connection. You make that immediate connection to somebody else who liked it as well, and was like, hey, I thought that was cool. So that's great. And anytime I'm feeling bad, honestly, if I stop and look at comments, I feel better every time. And I don't know if every channel can do that, but that's the way I feel.
We also take a lot of pride in our musicals like bars, because if you look at other channels like bars, you'll see like 75% or something hit like. On ours, there's just a sliver of dislike. There's almost never more than 100 dislikes, and it's really astonishing that our like bars are just that good, and I take pride in that, at least. And then you guys, the fans, are extremely good people in comparison to a lot of channels. We don't have that many trolls. We don't have people being horribly offensive. We don't have people being horribly offended. It's the community that is being created here is actually really good, and that's really cool.
Yeah. I did have one other thing. The project I was on the other day was very stressful because it was a very tight deadline, and we had to do it better and faster and spend less. It was things like that. And I've gotten used to doing it on YouTube, where we have a style that we get to follow, and it's that if we can't do it well enough, then it gets pushed back until we can do it well enough. We don't find ourselves just like, blah, throw it out there, get it done.
Right.
And I've gotten really addicted to that. The fact that if we can't do it right, then we don't do it until it gets done right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with Smash Brotherhood. It
Unfortunately.
was like, I don't want to be put in the position where just like, barf it out, like, there, it's on the internet, no one likes it now. And I was frustrated on this last thing that I was doing because this other group couldn't do that. It was like, nope, it has to be done, and we don't care if it's bad. We're just gonna try and make people think it's good. It's like, not good enough. Like, no, we don't work like that.
Yeah.
So I'm very appreciative that you guys have made it possible for us to space things out and do them at a pace where they will be better than if we just have to force it through immediately.
This is interesting. I've never heard of this. I'd love to support RE using Patreon, but I heard rumors that they evade taxes. So my question is, can I support them via Patreon, although I live in Germany? First of all, yes, you can, if you're in Germany, do the Patreon thing. The other thing is, like I said, I haven't heard about them evading taxes, but I'll tell you one thing. We just did our taxes. We included Patreon in our taxes.
I was gonna say,
it hurt to do that, because obviously that's a chunk of money that's like, where do you put
Yeah,
this?
what do you? Yeah, it's like, is it a service? Did I do the service?
Is
Was
it
this a
tip?
donation?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, where does this
So-
go on here? And then Patreon themselves can't really tell you because that's legal advice, and they're not a bunch of lawyers. They're not supposed to tell you what to do with it. So it's just like, do something with it. Just make sure it gets reported.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
And so that usually ends up going
Mhm.
in your self-employment, which becomes expensive because self-employment tax is really bad in America.
but we're not lawyers or financial advisors. So
No, yeah.
if I don't know how you're supposed to do it.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. They won't tell you. It's kind of up to you to decide what you think your Patreon is and how you want to report that on taxes.
Yeah.
I don't know what the company themselves do, and I don't know whether or not it's possible that they undercharge, like when they report taxes. I don't know. I didn't stack up the paperwork we got and how to explain what our taxes were, registered as. So I don't know that information. There is a YouTube tip jar. Did you mention that?
Oh, right. YouTube has their own funding thing, which is essentially just, it literally is a tip jar. Whenever you want to tip, you tip.
Yeah.
It's called fan funding, I think, and you can find it.
It appears usually in the top.
Yeah,
bar
usually
or
it'll appear on the top of our videos. At some point, it'll say, "Hey,
That's not very
support random encounters" or whatever. I don't know where it is
Yeah.
otherwise, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's still something I think they're rolling out. But the thing is, if you trust Google more than you trust Patreon,
That's another.
fine.
Yeah, that's another option.
yeah, and that would, it gives you the same opportunity to
Yeah.
use your credit card or something. I do want to take a moment to thank the people that are supporting us on fan funding and on Patreon, because we have a lot of really devoted people
Mhm.
that are helping make videos on Random Encounters for everybody to be watching for free on the internet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so thank you to everybody who's supporting us, including people that just watch, but especially the people that are trying to make it so that we can do this full time, because that would be great. We're going to be wrapping up really soon here. I did want to touch on a question way up here from Dan with 2 A's, who had asked, any chance of a Borderlands parody?
Very much of a chance. of
Anybody
that.
who's followed any of my personal life at all, or Sparrow's personal life, know that Sparrow and I played Borderlands together a lot, or we used to. And I love it as a shooter game. It's an excellent game series. So we're pretty intent on doing something for Borderlands.
We have at least 2 solid ideas for it.
I think only one.
I think 2.
Okay. I really want to go through with one starting the Psycho. I think Psychos in Borderlands are excellent, and they're kind of the mascot because they're on the box every time.
Mm.
So I love the Psychos. I think they're hilarious, and I want to do a song for a Psycho from Borderlands.
I feel like our Claptrap. I know it doesn't have a hook yet, but that's the only reason why it's not an idea.
I
as
do
opposed
like
to a song.
I like Claptrap as a character. He's
We're not going to
hilarious.
tell you exactly what,
because we don't know what and
but,
when.
but there's a specific a genre with Claptrap that would work really, really well, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so only other questions. If you've got questions, throw them out now because we're going to be wrapping up.
Yeah,
here
definitely need to
soon.
be wrapping up.
Yeah.
How long does it take to don the Ganondorf costume?
Ooh, depends.
The costume, not too hard.
Yeah, it's the makeup that takes, especially the spirit gum at the end for the beard, because the way the beard stays on is you have a gummy stuff called spirit gum, and it's like glue basically. You put it on, it gets really gross, and you have to like tap it to make it like really sticky, and it like starts to like pull your skin with you. Like,
Pleasant.
once you get that, then you have to like get the beard lined up perfectly and press it. You have to hold it for like a minute or 2 up here. And then it stays on sort of, but when you like move your mouth around or make a lot of faces like, it starts to like get really shaky, and then you have to kind of keep it like from popping out anywhere and stuff. So it takes a while. I would say I usually need at least 30 minutes to get everything together, and you're gonna be a mess at the end because you got green, you got sticky, and you're like trying not to touch the costume or the gloves and stuff, but it's pretty rough.
There's also a question of what our day jobs are, since we did mention that we have those. I've been working at Quark Entertainment, or I forget what they're called exactly, but it's called Quark, and they produce a show called Flip My Food, which is a cooking show, and I am what's called an online editor, which is basically after everything's done, I do quality control for them and just make sure that everything is up to spec and whatever. And I work from home, which is awesome. But at the same time, it's like every day, 3 to 6 hours is taken up doing that, and it's like I should be making a musical right now or playing a video game. AJ's is different.
I do social media about twice a week. It's not even social media, to be honest. It's more like go to meetings.
Yeah, it's go to meetings.
I go to work.
Luckily, it's twice a week now instead
Yeah.
of 3 times, which is what it used to be.
Well, it used to be 5 days a week.
It used to be 5 days.
There was a time where I go down to LA, which is about an hour and a half drive in traffic
I
in
would
the
go
morning.
too.
Yeah, Peter used to go with me too.
Yeah.
And I'd sit in this office 5 days a week and just kind of be there if they needed me to do things, and I'd read articles for them that they didn't want to read themselves, and then write up reports on what I had read about it and tell them if I thought it was something they could use.
Yeah.
And I used to do that 5 days a week, and it was stupid. I do it 2 days a week now, and that's stupid, but it's only 2 days a week, so I can live better with that.
Yeah.
And that's freed me up 3 days a week more to do random encounter stuff, which has been invaluable. There are so many things I feel like we would have struggled so hardcore to do and to finish that with those extra 3 days. It's like, oh, we can get to this. Like, oh man, I can take care of that. So
Totally.
yeah. Any other last questions? There are musicals on your to-do wish list. I think instead of musicals, I'd say the Smash Brotherhood is more of my
That's
to-do
the
wish
to-do
list.
list.
If I had to throw on any musicals, I'd throw on Animal Crossing, Star Fox, probably Zelda.
But if we suddenly got, hundreds of thousands of dollars, it wouldn't be those musicals that we'd be making. It would be an amazing Smash Brotherhood. That's what would happen.
Yeah, I want to do that because I'm tired of you guys having to wait for it. That's honestly like.
That's one big thing. Yeah,
I don't
definitely
like how
feel
long
guilty
it's taken.
to a large degree.
And it's like the musicals, we can do those anywhere, at any time. We can do those the rest of our life. But the Smash Brothers thing, we opened that can of worms, they couldn't finish it. And it's like, I don't want you guys waiting forever for the rest of the Smash Brothers stuff. So that's what
Sniper musical.
I love that Nefenjo can answer like every question before we do. I'm looking at it's like literally questions like, what's your favorite Smash Bros. Character? And she's like, AJ's favorite Smash Bros. Character is Random Button. Like, thank you. That was so fast. And I've said that, and it was like word for word. Like, we should start a Patreon for Nefenjo and start sending her like for all her answers.
Every time she answers a question.
Basically, it's ridiculous that she can get
Yeah.
these answers before I can and like answers them so fast. Okay.
I think.
Let's do one more question after this one.
Oh, nice.
So here's a question from Turpentity. All right. Sorry, that was a tough one. Question: you guys play any board games?
Oh yes,
We do. We do play them.
Now we kind of open the list of board games up to other things like card games and stuff like that. Tabletop gaming is what we call it.
Tabletop gaming. Yeah.
Um,
Nerdy stuff that freaks people out when you do it in public.
Yes. The biggest one we play is Dominion, which is like a deck building card game where you, instead of building your deck like in Magic beforehand, you're building your deck as you go. You buy cards that give you more powers and so on and so forth, and then you continually cycle through that deck. Really fun game, pretty easy to learn the basics of. One that I'm really excited about. On Mother's Day, I'm flying over to visit my mother in Kansas City, and my sister is also going there, and we're gonna play Mage Knight, which is really exciting. Mage Knight is like this 5-hour endeavor where you are, just you're mages and you fight monsters and find cities and run into dragons, and it's cool. It's good.
I would love to like that game, but every time I try to play it, I get frustrated.
Yeah, no,
like
it's so
literally,
sad.
I don't know why, but it seems like I always end up having to spend half the game not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
While everybody else is like, "Oh, I leveled up my guy. He's got a fancy hat and a magical spell and set things on fire." It's like my guy can sit and wait the next turn to do something where he can move.
To be
his
fair,
face.
we don't use hats in that game.
Okay. Point is, I want to love that game, but I'm always the guy that can't do anything, and I hate being the guy that just spends the whole game sitting there not doing things.
And then there's Hanabi, which is a really simple little game.
We played that on a stream once,
Oh yeah.
but I don't think there's a.
Hi, Big
like a-
Kitty.
I don't think there's a file on YouTube of us playing it. So
Oh, yes.
maybe let's go. Yeah, we love to play tabletop games, and we do it probably twice or 3 times a week.
Hello.
And most of our favorite ones tend to be cooperative because I like playing with other people against the game more than I like playing against other people. So
Yes. Shadows of Camelot, that's a great one. Pandemic is a fun one.
Candyland, that's a great one. Somebody mentioned that comment.
Nice.
Okay, so last question. Gotta pick because you guys have a lot of good questions. And before I pick it,
Fuzzy.
if we didn't answer your question today, please go write it in the comments after the video, or probably even safer, go find us on Facebook, and write it on the page someplace there, either on the event for this chat or just as a general post to the page. Because unfortunately, YouTube will wipe all of this comment stuff that you've been making so far when this video goes into an archived state.
Yeah.
So if you want us to get to your question, please post it either on our Facebook page or come back to the video probably tomorrow and put your question back up. Facebook you can do it right now. You can literally go put it up on Facebook right now. So if you feel comfortable and have a Facebook account, find us on Facebook, post your question there if we didn't answer it. All right, last question.
Oh, I thought you already had one.
I couldn't decide because they're all good.
Oh.
There were questions about vlogs, but Nafenjo has that covered.
Okay, very good.
There were questions about how we met. We've done that one before. She probably has that one covered someplace too. There were questions about other YouTubers, including who we like working with or who we want to work with.
I'm sure she's got that one covered.
There are questions about Sonic 06 as always, because people always want to know more about that. And then the questions about all the people that, or all the musicals that we haven't gotten to that we want to do still. So I'm gonna say, let's talk about how we met, Peter.
Oh, okay.
We've done it before, but let's talk about it.
I met Peter by being born.
That's incredible. How did you do that?
Just throwing that out there.
I met Peter because, this is funny, I'm pretty sure my mom made me meet you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever said that.
Wow.
My mom, for some reason, was, I don't know, stalking Facebook or something like that. And she, I think, sent me an email and was like, have you met any other Christian kids in the film program at your college? And I was like, no, I don't think so, really. And she's like, I found one here. It's funny. I was going to say, it's like, here's a guy who could be kind of interesting. He had a weird Facebook page or something like that. Like, you know, you might want to like look him up. And I think she found you on Facebook. So then I sent you an email. And I was like, hey, you know, want to like hang out sometime, see what you're up to or something like that. Or what kind of movies you like, or if you want to make a video together. And the email back I got was the most ambiguous. And I didn't know what to make of it. It was like so stilted and awkward. It was like, hello, greetings from me, Peter, from Boston, or something like that. It is my pleasure to have made your acquaintance today. And, you know, I am in fact this and that, and I studied whatever. And I, you know, if schedule permit, I could meet at this time sometime. And I was like, I don't know. I got the distinct impression that he wasn't like super like into like hanging out or anything. But I'm like, but he wasn't completely unfriendly. It was just, he was really like, I'm sure I describe it as like computerized. He was like a computer program, responded like a robot. So I was like, okay,
I don't remember that email.
Yeah, I wish I still had it. I don't know. It was on the college email system.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, so I don't have it either.
Yeah, I probably.
Darn.
So yeah, that was my introduction to Peter. Was an awkward email exchange, and I was like, well, I mean, he didn't say he didn't want to hang out, so I'm pretty sure what happened is then when we like met up for lunch or something, I was like, oh, I've seen you around, so I do know.
I had a
who you
huge
are.
beard.
Yes, so you were just, I mean,
Everyone like even when I went to my college orientation, people remembered me during actual college from that because of the giant beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I recognized you as being that one weird guy who walked around with a giant beard. Okay. So I do know who you are, but I didn't know your name was Peter and I didn't know anything about you. So at that point, that's when the email thing didn't bother me anymore because then I got to know you. I'm like,
okay, he's just weird.
No, yeah, it was a good weird. It was like, oh, Peter is a completely cool guy. I'm really happy, to know him. He is my friend now. And it was as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
So once the email thing that made me like, I don't know, like once we got that out of the way, from that point on, Peter and I hung out all the time and did all sorts of crazy stuff together and continue to do crazy stuff together to this day.
Uh-huh.
Do you have anything to add about any of that? Because apparently you don't even remember those emails.
I don't remember the email, no.
Okay.
What I do have to add is the irony that we met because we were both looking for Christian friends at a liberal college, and now I am no longer a Christian. And it's a kind of a beautiful irony. It's really sad for AJ because, like, I know what that feels like to... Well, anyway, the point is, it's weird and sad and amusing all at the same time. But we also made a sweet Batman movie together. Our first,
we did do that.
In our first semester together.
Peter did the visual effects and the sound.
Yeah.
Did you voice Batman or something too?
I don't think so.
Oh, I guess I voiced Batman.
Maybe Casey did.
That had Nate in it too, by the way, who plays Dr.
Pretty much
Eggman.
everyone you've heard of was from that first
Yeah.
that early time.
A lot of our friends have been friends since college, so
It's true.
including a lot of the actors. That
Not
we
Miss
work
Bird.
with now. Not Miss Bird. Miss Bird is probably the most recent, like
real friend that was acquired.
ongoing. Yeah, like
Yeah.
given how like in depth she's involved. There are obviously new people that we're working with constantly,
Mhm.
like Dodger, Mark, Xander, and Sarah, and
Right.
people like that. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us so much. That's basically the
Yeah.
weird story of us meeting. But I don't regret it at all. I'm so glad that we met in that way or any other way, but it was fun. So thank you guys again. If we didn't get to your question today, please go put it on Facebook or come back tomorrow and add it to the comments of this video. You might be able to add it as soon as this is over. But just so you know, anything that we wrote down today in the chat, I think YouTube wipes that.
Yeah,
'cause I can never find
wait
it.
for about 2 hours if you want to put it on our video.
I would rather see you guys go over to Facebook, to be
Definitely.
honest. Because Facebook isn't as busy either, so it's easier for us to keep track of what's going on there.
Mhm.
So if we didn't get to anything, it's not because we didn't want to say hi or to talk to you or to answer your questions. So it's just because we were busy trying to get through everything. We better sign off because
Yeah.
I got a song to start working on. We got a meeting with Nintendo.
Yeah.
I forgot we didn't mention there is a new musical coming up this month that we weren't planning on doing until like last week. So we are going to be calling Nintendo on Monday to talk about something for them. It's not related to a specific game, but they do have announcements about stuff
Isn't it?
later.
Technically.
Well, technically, I guess we're talking about a Street Pass thing with them, which are like a number of games.
Yes.
So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm gonna Beard Salute out of here with you guys, and we're gonna catch you, I guess, next Friday either for Twitch. Are we gonna be twitching the Minecraft stuff for them with Patreon?
It's unclear whether we're going to Twitch it, but it is definitely going on YouTube.
Okay. Well, we will have a new video up for you Friday, and a new musical is gonna be shooting very soon. So, all right, you guys. AJ, Beard Salute.